Banana na 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 na. 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 Banana 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 na 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 na. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from. This is Eagle Striker of Nigerian football, and we are here to celebrate a 3-0 victory for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the AFCON 2025 qualifying match against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. A good win. First half was so-so, but the second half was much better. I'll give props to the coach, Osimhen. The subs that he made today, they affected the game in a positive way. And yes, we saw the return to action of Victor Osimhen, and of course, in usual Osimhen fashion, he just had to get on the score sheets. You know when they say someone is a janla, big fish, that is Victor Osimhen. When I saw him coming on, I just knew the boy would get on the score sheet. And he did. He could have even had one or two more goals. He for sure could have had one or two more goals. But we'll take the one, in his about 20 minutes of action. A good win for the Super Eagles, a positive result. And yeah, we look forward to what they can do in the next game, of course, against Rwanda. But yes, the last time we played against Benin Republic, they beat us. So of course, the turn this around is a positive result. We have to take it well. We scored 3 goals rather. We didn't concede a single goal, which is not something that we've been doing a lot of recently, keeping clean sheets. So of course, that's another positive. And I just have to give kudos to the players. They did quite well today. I'll just run through, as I always do, my thoughts on each player that played. And then, of course, I'll bring you guys on to hear your thoughts on the game as well. So the coach went to the 3-4-3 formation. Stanley Nwabali in goal. Calvin Bassey, William Trustekong, and Shemi Ajayi in defense. Bruno Emechi on the left wing-back position. Layi right wing-back position. Ndidi and Iwobi in midfield. And then in the attack, we had Chukwueze from the right, we had Lukman from the left, and of course we had Victor Boniface leading the line. I'll start from the goalkeeper. Stanley Nwabali today, 3 saves made in the game. He didn't have too much work to do, but when he was called upon, when Steve Mounier got a few opportunities to get at him, I thought Nwabali, confident as usual, made the saves when we needed him to make the saves. Came off his line to claim the ball in the air when he needed to claim the ball in the air. So all round good performance from Stanley Nwabali. The same thing that we've been seeing from him time and time again. In defense, I'll start from Shemi Ajayi. Shemi Ajayi today was quite good with his passing. Won 3 duels in the game today. Didn't really make that many tackles, made 2 interceptions, but I felt like he was quite composed in defense. Didn't have too much work to do. But he did quite well in the game today. I'm not going to knock him. I don't think he made a mistake. I don't think he did anything wrong. So I'll give him the props there. Captain in the center of the 3-man defense was William Trustekong. Ekong, good performance as always. Made 5 clearances in the game. Again, didn't make a single tackle. He had 1 block in the game. But I just thought that there were a few moments where Ekong looked a little bit off the pace, for Steve Mounier's 2 chances. I thought Ekong was just a little bit, let's say, 1 step behind Mounier. Maybe that's just simply age and there's nothing that he can really do about it. And when you consider the fact that Ekong was, even when he was young, he wasn't like a very quick player. But other than that, I don't think he put a foot wrong. That's not a knock on him. That's not criticism of him. I just thought 1 or 2 times in the game, he just allowed Mounier to be 1 step ahead of him, which, of course, if we didn't have Nwabali in goal or we didn't have a good goalkeeper in goal, could have cost us a goal. But all in all, good performance by William Trustekong. Calvin Bassey playing from the left centre-back position was probably the least effective of the three centre-backs today. Not saying he played badly, but he didn't really do much at all. No tackle, one interception, one clearance in the whole match. Didn't really have much to do in the game for the 63 minutes that he was on. From the wing back, Bruno Onyemaechi. Somebody was asking here what did Bruno play today. I thought Bruno had a good game. He created 2 chances for us in the game from the left wing back position. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him, honestly, from that left wing back position. He also won 4 duels, made 3 tackles, made 2 interceptions, made 2 clearances. So he was effective both in offense and in defense for the Super Eagles. I thought he had a good performance with the Bruno Onyemaechi. And of course, with Zedu Sanusi out for long term with an injury, we are going to see more of Bruno playing from that left wing back position, or the left back if we happen to play a back 4 instead of a back 5 or back 3, depending on how you look at it. From the right-hand side, Olaino, we know what he offers. We saw what he did at the AFCON. But today, I felt like Olaino wasn't necessarily at his best. Lost a lot of duels today. Lost more duels than he won. I thought he gave away possession. He gave away possession 15 times. And I felt like there were some times on that right flank, maybe he's just trying to, lob the ball over the defender's leg and catch up with it, but the ball goes out for a throw-in. There were a few opportunities, there were a few moments that he just gave away possession a bit too cheaply for my liking. So that's the only knock I'll give on Olaino. His 2 dribbles in the game today were unsuccessful. So yes, all the best, kudos to Olaino. Didn't have the best performance today, but still an okay performance considering the factors. We also had in midfield Wilfred Onyenye Ndidi. Wilfred Onyenye Ndidi, of course, somebody that has been a key player for the Super Eagles for a long time, even though a lot of people have been saying recently that he shouldn't be playing for us anymore. Of course, he got the assist for Lukman's for Osimhen's goal. A good assist. Maybe he wasn't necessarily looking for Osimhen, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. A good assist nonetheless. He also, while he was playing, won 8 duels in that midfield, so was very combative. Won 3 tackles, 1 interception, 1 block, 3 clearances. Was a force in the midfield, made his presence felt in the game. I thought it was a good display by Wilfred Ndidi. Of course, playing beside him was Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi, just like Olaino, didn't have his best game today. But I feel like, we kind of know that when we play Alex Iwobi as one of the 2-man midfield partnership, Alex Iwobi doesn't necessarily play that well from that position. He didn't really get forward as much. He didn't really create any opportunities for the team. So not too much that he was involved in today. Not the best display from Alex Iwobi. I wasn't surprised when he brought on Fisayo Dele Bashiru in the second half. I think Iwobi definitely needed a little bit of a break. But I don't blame Alex Iwobi. We're playing him out of position. We're playing him in a 2-man midfield where he doesn't shine his brightest. So I'll give kudos to Alex Iwobi nevertheless, even though today wasn't one of his better performances. And then in the attack, I'll start from Samuel Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze played 63 minutes today, created 2 chances for the team. I thought Chukwueze also had one of his better games in a while for the Super Eagles. We could see him causing problems for the for the left back of Benin Republic. I thought he was a bit inventive today. He was strong in his duels. You can see a little bit of AC Milan in him. You can see that maybe he has worked under good coaches now. He has gained a lot more confidence. He's more unpredictable, even though more often than not, Chukwueze is still going to go onto his left foot and try to do something with it. But I felt like today, he was a bit more unpredictable. He was causing issues for the left back. He created a few opportunities for his teammates. I think this was one of his better performances for the Super Eagles in quite a while. And long may it continue. Long may it continue. I hope that Chukwueze can keep it up like this. Victor Boniface wasn't the best game for Victor Boniface. I feel like he had a few decent opportunities that you probably say he should have converted, but I'm not going to knock him too much. In the whole game, I think he had 5 shots and only one of them was on target. He missed, of course, one fairly good opportunity, but it can happen to everybody. Even Osimhen came on and missed a good opportunity as well. But yeah, Victor Boniface, played 72 minutes. Wasn't his best game entirely, but I also am not going to fault him. I'm not going to knock anybody for today's game. I thought They played well. I thought Boniface was holding up play quite well, trying to link his teammates. In certain moments, he was isolated. So even when he holds the ball up, it's not easy for him to find somebody before the Benin defenders apply pressure on him. But of course, I'm still hoping, I'm still waiting to see Victor Boniface really shine in a Super Eagles jersey. He hasn't quite been able to do that yet. But when you look at Victor Boniface, he's one of the most technical players we have. He's one of the most skilled players we have. And I really hope and believe that his time to shine will eventually come playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But today wasn't it for him. And then finally, leading over that on the left side of the attack, Ademola Lukman, Ballon d'Or nominee, and looking like the favorites to win the CAF Player of the Year award. I thought Lukman, as always, quality player. In that first half, when the first half was looking a little bit drab, when the first half was looking a little bit boring, when it looked as if we were going to go into the break with a 0-0, and fans were going to come and start complaining, and fans were going to come and start saying, what are the Super Eagles doing? And Ademola Lukman said, hey, calm down. A fantastic goal by Ademola Lukman. Beautiful finish. Fake the first time, fake the second time to get rid of the defenders. And then slotted it into the bottom left corner, right corner for the goalkeeper. I thought it was a fantastic finish by Ademola Lukman. Of course, he got a second goal as well. A nice cross by Moses Simon, and then Lukman, one of the shortest players on the field, maybe the shortest player on the field. I don't know. Maybe Simon is shorter than him. I'm not sure. They have to compare height. But a good header. The Benin goalkeeper was lost, essentially just frozen. And yes, that was the third goal for the Super Eagles. Lukman, of course, is personally my player of the match today. I thought he had a good game. Even he created one of the chances for Victor Osimhen, the one that Osimhen did not take, or one of the two that Osimhen did not take was created by Lukman. So I thought Lukman had a good performance today. 2 goals, 5 chances created. Without a doubt, the best player on the park. Without a doubt, currently the best player in Africa. I know Osimhen is the best player in Africa, but based on this last year that we've watched, I think Lukman has claimed that crown. Osimhen now has to, perform again to reclaim that crown from Lukman. But the fact that we have a quality player like Ademola Lukman on our team, a quality striker like Victor Osimhen on our team, boy, it's very exciting times for Nigerian football players. And then, of course, off the bench, Olisanda came on for Calvin Bassey. 27 minutes, didn't do too much. 1 tackle, 1 clearance, 1 interception. Decent performance. I can't really judge him based off of that. Fisayo Dele Bashiru came on for Alex Iwobi. Also didn't really do too much. He had a few opportunities to link up the play, but it didn't quite work out well for him. He lost quite most of his duels that he was in. His passing was accurate for the most part. But yeah, nothing too much to talk about. Moses Simon came off the bench to replace Samuel Chukwueze, and of course he got an assist for the Lukman header. Like I said, he came on, he played from the left-hand side, and Simon does what Simon does. He's going to try to dribble a little bit. It's going to be tricky. He can either run down the flank and get to the byline, or he can cut on his right foot and play across like he did for Ademola Lukman. So I thought it was a good cameo for Moses Simon for sure. We also had Rafael Onyedika coming off the bench for the last 10 minutes of the game. He didn't really do too much, only had 7 touches of the ball, but in the time that he was on, they can't really judge him from today's game. A lot of people wanted Onyedika to start ahead of Wilfred Ndidi. That didn't quite happen today. Ndidi, of course, had a good performance himself as well, but Onyedika is a player that we'll see more and more of Onyedika as time goes on in the Super Eagles. And then, of course, like I said, big fish, Ejanla, star boy, anything you want to call him, Victor James Osimhen, came off the bench for the last 18 minutes of the game, and you just knew Osimhen was going to do something. When he came off the bench, you could feel the energy from the crowd, you could see that the players were gingered, and you just knew that Victor Osimhen was going to do something. And of course, with practically maybe his first or second touch of the game, a fine finish, Ndidi with a ball into the box, and then Osimhen, a beautiful right-footed finish, and then he celebrated. You could see all the players celebrating with him. The crowd was so happy. The coach was so happy. The teammates of all the Super Eagles players were so happy. I was so happy. I'm sure you guys were so happy. Congratulations to Victor Osimhen. Came off the bench, looked as sharp as ever. You wouldn't know that Osimhen has not played football in how many months. The way he was looking today. Kudos to him. We'll have to wait and see if he starts in the second game against Rwanda. Of course, Osimhen missed 2 good opportunities today. He had one that was a ball long over the top. He was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He tried to go around the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper clawed it away. You have to say good goalkeeping, but you also have to say that's an opportunity that you expect Victor Osimhen to convert. I know we all love Victor Osimhen, but if it was Boniface, if it was Awoni, if it was Sadiq, if it was Onwachu, anybody else, and people would have been criticizing the striker for not converting that. I'm not knocking Victor Osimhen, but I'm just saying in a tougher match, in a game where things are less, I would say things are more important and the game is less, done. At that point, you pretty much knew that we're going to win the game. But in a tougher match, in a different situation, you expect Victor Osimhen to score that goal. And then another one was the ball over the top from Ademola Lukman. He took it on his chest and then he tried to strike it, but he couldn't get over the ball, so his strike went over the bar. So two opportunities that I think Osimhen could and should have done better. But still, all in all, a good performance by Victor Osimhen in the 18 minutes that he was on the pitch. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Overall, kudos to the team. I'll also give credit to the head coach, Austin Eguavon. Austin Eguavon, of course, is a player that, has received a coach that has received a lot of criticism from Nigerians. Even when he got this job as the interim head coach, a lot of people said he should not be there. People said he only feels with the Super Eagles. So I have to give credit to Austin Eguavon. He sets the team up well today. And of course, he delivered the results. A 3-0 win, 3 points on the board against a team that beat us last time out. So we have to see how they carry on this performance into the game against Rwanda. Austin Eguavon, kudos to you. Nobody can insult you today. Nobody can complain about your performance today. And then yes, we'll see how things go in the next game. Okay, so if you want to come on and share your thoughts, now is the time to send your request. My match rating for the team, I'm going to give the team a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 because I feel like they could have scored more, they could have done better in certain situations, but they still did quite well, so I'm going to give them a 7.5 out of 10. But yes, very, very good display from the boys. Very, very good win. Somebody said I should shut up that Victor Osimhen played well. Again, I always say I'm not knocking Victor Osimhen. I'm not saying he didn't play well, but he did have two opportunities that he should have done better, and he didn't. Again, I always tell people, unfortunately for you or for me, I don't know how to just come and just praise. Oh, he's the best, and not talk about where I think a player could have done better. I'm not insulting him, I'm not criticizing him, but he could have done better. Kelechi says, is match rusty? I understand he's match rusty, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that we cannot talk about it. It's not, nobody is knocking him, nobody is insulting him. It's just the fact of what happened in the game. I don't know how to always blow smoke up people's behind. But yes, I have a couple requests. If you want to come on, just send a request and then I'll give an opportunity to share your thoughts.
Alpha,
Yes, hello.
Alpha, I enjoyed the match. I said, I don't even believe in Eguavon. I don't go lie. I said, I don't believe in the guy. I said, because I just didn't say, Pastor, we not supposed to sack him after that AFCON. People really underrate what he did in that AFCON to carry us to the final. Because of that final match, they will now start insulting Pastor. So I really respect Pastor, but Eguavon surprised me today. And we still have players that are not in the team. Umar, Sadiq, Orban, those players, they are still very good players. If you add in this squad, we are going places, man. So, I want to go and jog like this. I don't really have much to say. I really respect you boys.
And before you go, let me just ask you one question. Who was your player of the match today?
My player of the match, all I know.
Interesting.
All I know. That guy is he cannot miss any game for these Eagles. He cannot afford to, even if he's injured, he must play the match. I swear.
All right.
So,
thank you. All right, thank you very much. Please take yourself off from your end so that this thing doesn't glitch. Thank you. All right, Katilo, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. It was a good game, no doubt about that. But everything should calm down. There's enough work to be done. The much work will start when we go to Kigali and face Rwanda, because you're playing a team that hasn't lost in 7 or won in 7 thereabout. So it's a different team compared to the team that faced them at that World Cup qualifiers. All right, quite a number of names were missing, and it was a similar tactics that Finidi used, and that's the same thing. What's his name? Austin Eguavon used, but different personnel. Not Pesero or Guavon today, but different personnel to execute the job. And of course, the home advantage still played there, where we got the fans rally behind the whole players. The momentum was very high. So the thing is, we need to start understanding that tougher tests await Nigeria. All right, it's not about winning Benin Republic. Strength for strength, Benin Republic are not of the same strength to the Super Eagles. As much as they won us, player for player, strength for strength, they are not of the same strength. So the thing is, I will only rate this team. I will start rating this team higher when we go to Kigali and win. That is a very difficult stadium to play and win. All right, so Nigerians should just calm down. And I know a lot of people are blown away with the fact that the Star Boys scored and we weren't comfortable without conceding and everything. There's much more work need to be done. All right, so certain players need to still maintain their starting place. One, Bruno Oyemechi should still maintain his position. He was joining the attack. He was tracking back to help cover up Calvin Bassey at some point. Layi, the defense line that started in the first half should maintain. If you noticed, at some point, our midfield was found wanting because some players tried to outrun Wilfred Ndidi, thereby making him to lose strength. So people need to start looking at the tactical point of the game, not the individual point of the game. Because if you're facing a tougher side, for example, a Senegal, we might not see much of the ball. We might get a lot of pressure from the opposition. So what am I saying in essence is Eguavon need to go to Kigali and win without conceding. Then a lot of Nigerians will start looking at him and say, okay, maybe he has got a lot in his plate to offer. All right? So for me, my standout player today is the two wing backs. That's all. Chukwueze might be good and everything, but our wing backs help because they didn't get to penetrate from the wings. They were trying their best to do that, but the wingers, defenders, that's the wing backs were very, very solid. So for me, we need to start judging Eguavon from our next game, not this one. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Please take yourself out from your end, just so that we don't have any glitch.
Yeah, the guys did great today.
Sorry, hold on for 1 second. I also like to say, I completely understand where Catilo is coming from, but I'm somebody that I always think there's room to celebrate today and then refocus tomorrow. I don't think anybody is getting carried away and saying, oh, because we beat Benin Republic 3-0, we're going to win the AFCON. No, I don't think anybody's getting that carried away. But we won the game today. We played well today. I think we are allowed to be happy today, celebrate today, and of course, tomorrow, everybody refocuses and, pays attention to what we have to do right in the next game. But yes, Dr. Sheson, welcome.
Thank you so very much. I just wanted to say, I'm very, very happy. I think this is perhaps the best match I've seen the Super Eagles play since we won Cameroon, and it was very convincing. Special shout out to Wambali. I felt that there were some times in the moment of the game that he actually kept us in this match, because when it was 1-0, if we had conceded, I feel the spirit of the team would have dampened a bit, and the boys wouldn't have gotten to where they are. So I really, really like that. Of course, Lukman was good. He took his chances, scored the goals. We appreciate him for that. Also, special shout out to Eguavon.
Sorry, I don't lie on. Please show your face. Don't show TV. I don't want Instagram to take this thing out for copyright. Show your face. If you're not showing your face, please go off. Don't show your TV. It can cause issues for us. Don't show us TV. Thank you. Go on, Mr. Shison.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, you know, you have to give it to Eguavoen too. He just was with his boys for a couple of days and able to put them together. I was a little bit nervous with him starting, what was his name? Boniface up front, you know. Because and then again, I also understand it's a tough choice. Awuni has not been playing, Osimhen has not been playing, but having the guts to put those players on the bench and start with Boniface, it's something that you also have to give him his flowers for. And generally, I think the team played well, you know, and it's also good to have this kind of stats, you know, it gingers the team, you know, as they go away to play against Rwanda. So that's all I just wanted to say. I'm so excited. I'm delighted. And, you know, thank God. 3-0. I can't remember the last time we won that kind of margin. I can't remember. You know, I'm so excited.
All
Yeah.
right. And finally, before you go, who was your player of the match?
Player of the match. Man, that's a tough one. Oh. Tough one. Somewhere in between Lukman and Wambali for me.
Mm.
Because when I saw there's one shot that Wambali saved. When I saw that shot, I just said, it's 1-1 already. But it's like, but yeah, I somewhere in between. Of course, the goal scorers always get this thing, but I also appreciate the goalkeeper for that one too. So somewhere in between both of them. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for joining
Okay.
us, for
No
sharing your
problem.
thoughts.
Let me get myself off here.
And Agent Casey, you have to send a request. You can't tell me to request to add you. Send the request, and then I'll see it in the request section, and I'll bring you on. We obviously already have a number of requests waiting. But for now, please go on, Sam Sweets.
All right, good games from the boys. This is classic Super Eagles. Like everyone has been saying, it's been a while we won convincingly by this goal margin. I felt every player did their job. I like the strategy Guavon came up with, bringing the regular boys that have been playing, except for Lukman, who hasn't played a game this season yet. But every other player has been featuring, and it was a good start. The strategy of bringing out Victor Osimhen in the second half, I felt like it was that put more pressure on the Benin team. Victor came, the name, the crowd, the chant, everything. I guess he made them be on their toes more. And that was why it was easy for us to get more of the goals. My comment, I have a little comment with the defense line. I really didn't find funny what Calvin Bassett did. If it were to be like a rep who is brutal, that might have been like a straight rep. You don't just intentionally do that kind of a flimsy handball near your goal post. That was unprofessional. But thank God we got away with it. They couldn't get a goal from the free kick they played. But overall, good teams from the boys. I believe we're going back to Kigali. We're getting all 3 points. My only annoyance is why didn't we use this kind of a squad to like been playing all of the World Cup qualifiers we've been playing? Now we're in a difficult spot. I'm sure this win also has sent a message to other of our group opponents in the World Cup qualifier that hey, these guys are back, and I hope remain causing this way. For now, I feel like Iguavon is getting to know the boys. I think the boys are playing for him well. I hope this continues. We can resolve this whole coaching saga and stick with Iguavon, and let's see what's out there for us. But I believe in him. I believe in his strategy, and yeah, good luck to the Eagles for the rest of the games.
All right. Thank you very much, Sam Sweet. Thank you. Please,
So it's
just please remove
it's
yourself
my
from
turn,
your
right?
end.
I'm not lying.
Yes, Anon Lion. We cannot see your face, please.
I your team no vex. So me, I'm an artist, so I'll
Yeah,
just
but
say what
we
I've
need
said.
to see your face. Let's not talk too much. If we can't see
I
your face,
your
then
team, I beg.
I'll have to
I
take
have to
you off.
just talk for 30 seconds. I can leave, please, if that's fine. I'm a very
Okay. Please, if you are coming on, please just make sure we can see your face. It's one thing if maybe you're in Nigeria and there's no light, but when that guy came on, he was showing us TV, so we know there's light in his house. So you can just put on the light and show us your face. Don't tell me you're an artist. That doesn't help that doesn't help us here. But welcome, Sweet Layi,
Yeah.
Ground Football. What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, like I actually was predicted, I think that it's going to start well, and I expect this type of results. But like I won't say much. I just think that it was a 3-4-3 formation instead for the former coach to build on that 3-4-3 formation. He went for his own. I don't know what he did. Maybe 4-1-3-1. I don't know the former coach. So I go and observe what Pasero did wrong and actually what did well. in this game. In my own this thing, I think that they did this, they did the necessary thing, but I can tell you, like as you say, IoT. I know that we still find time to discuss this matter at length, but I will tell you that it's not Uru yet. This man always starts well. If you go and check his previous start, you already actually manage Nigeria. He normally starts well. Look at the game against Egypt. He started well. Look at the game against Zimbabwe in 2005. He started well. The game against Nigeria in 2011, he started well. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm now celebrating. I think if the NFF think they still want to go for a coach, they should go for a coach. In my own opinion, I think that when push comes to shovel, when you play against a team that is tactically sound and slightly average players, because this Benin Republic team, apologies for that, they are below average players. It was just Finidi that messed the whole thing. I just think that if we play against a team that they have average players, maybe play in like Ligue 1, slightly not really top players, I think that and they're well organized. That is when I think they're going to test him very well to see what is going in his locker. For me, I'm impressed with what he did today, but it's not Uru yet.
Okay, let me ask you about Bruno Oyemechi. This is a player that, of course, at the AFCON did not get any minutes. He's been, rarely used in the Super Eagles squad. How did you think he performed today from that left wing?
He did well. He did well. Fantastic performance. For me too, I still think that he was still, there's still some things that you expect him to do better. But I think overall, he actually did well. And to my surprise, I think, why didn't he get the minute during AFCON? Maybe at that time, there was a lot of things going on. I remember you had an interview with him that he was meant to go somewhere, and suddenly that thing did not happen. Maybe that thing affected his mental state, and he could not concentrate on that AFCON. Don't forget that this guy was also good against Sao Tome and Principe. He was also good. But let's see, someone that's a very good winger that can sit with him, and test him very well. For me, he did well today against, for me, a very poor Benin side.
Okay. Wilfred Ndidi, another player that a lot of people said, even when the lineup was released, some people were saying, why is Onyedika not starting? Why is Ndidi starting? How do you think Ndidi performed today?
He did well. Ndidi actually did well. For me, if Ndidi did not perform well in that midfield, I think that it would have been disaster, because it wasn't up against anybody here. A lot of people will say that, but he played against them 2.5 months ago, and it was actually awful in that performance. I can tell you the difference between today and the one 2.5 months ago was because Wilfred Ndidi played played in a very wrong formation, and he was exposed all the time. So in this time around, I think his goal, you can see Chukwueze kept on coming inside. You can see those guys. So I think that overall, he actually did well today. And this formation suits him better too. I would have think that if he was available during AFCON, he would have helped us better with this type of formation. He did well today.
Okay. Let's take it back a little bit. So Stanley Nwabali, of course, when we had done our podcast initially, we had spoken about Maduka Okoye. I said I wanted Maduka Okoye to start. You said you wanted Maduka Okoye to start as well. But Osnegwavon went for Stanley Nwabali in goal. He made 3 saves today. Do you think, it was the right choice to start Nwabali? How did you feel about his performance today?
When he was called upon, he actually he delivered. The free kick, the saves, he actually made. He was called upon, he delivered. And secondly, too, it was part of the early bets in the Super Eagles camp. So, I think Maduka Okoye came around maybe Wednesday or so. I think he went for a movie shoot Wednesday, so he came slightly later. So I think it would have been unfair to even start Maduka Okoye ahead of him in this game. But I think that if he came at the same time, I think there might be a change of guard for Nigeria. But, coming early, put in Nwabali slightly ahead of him in this game.
All right. And then Victor Osimhen, let's talk about Victor Osimhen. Of course, barely played football, or let me know, what am I saying barely? Hasn't played football at all this season. And then comes off the bench, scores 1 and misses 2 opportunities. But overall, how do you see Osimhen's performance today?
No, I think it's just like it was written in the stats, that immediately he started warming up. I think the fans, slightly were on their feet, waiting for the current African Player of the Year. For me, I think that nobody, we are just saying Osimhen is Osimhen. That's why most of us put him in our starting lineup. I know that it's going to be unfair to start him ahead of Awoni and also Victor Boniface that have been in camp for so long. So, I think that the time he came for someone that has not even kicked a ball, all we saw is training during Antonio Conte, shaking hands with Antonio Conte. That's what we saw. We didn't see anything actually what did he say. So for me, I think he's a guy, he's a fighter, he's a different animal, he's a guy that is ready to deliver at any time. And secondly, too, if you realize that when he came in, the goalkeeper for Benin Republic is no longer passing from the back because he knew that there is someone that can actually work. And I can press very well. So I think that he did well today, and he's written in the stats. I know that the past 3 months have been, a roller coaster for him. So, but for me, I think he did very well today. Forget about the 2 minutes opportunities. We need Victor Osimhen to play every game for Nigeria. If Victor Osimhen to play every game for Nigeria, yes.
Okay, and then finally, I'll ask you about our Ballon d'Or nominee, Ademola Lukman. Another 2 goals today, 5 chances created. Fantastic display in that first half. When it looked as if we're going to go 0-0 at halftime, and I know that people were getting ready to complain. Lukman scored a beautiful goal, and then of course I scored another in the second half. How would you rate Ademola Lukman right now? Is he playing at the highest level right now? What do you think?
For me, when we were doing our preview for AFCON, you asked me that who will be the player for Nigeria. I think it's Lukman. I think for me, a lot of people might think Osimhen. Lukman is our best attacking outlet. We need to look for a way to make it work for Lukman, and that's what I think Osimhen did today. So before, you don't need him to come and defend all the time. When people are saying that Simon defends more than him, see, you need Lukman to put the ball at the back of the net. You don't need to come and be defending to know that he's a very good player. Lukman is deadly. Lukman is decisive. I always say something that Lukman is not your traditional type of winger. He's not someone that dash, lose leg over and everything. No, he's someone that get him in the right position is going to, it will punish you. So for me, fantastic performance. A lot of people are criticizing him that he scored a trick against Leverkusen. We play South Africa, he don't score anything. People don't even understand that it's a different circumstance. You can't you're not someone that we say that football is 11 beats 11. It's not 1 against 11. So it worked well for him today. He delivered today. And for me, I think Lukman is our best player currently. And currently, I think he's even the best player in Africa. So for me, very impressed with his performance. And I think that he's going places.
All right. And then finally, I'll ask you, Coach Austin Pep Eguavon, how do you think he did today? I know you said we shouldn't get carried away, but let's talk about today. How would you rate Eguavon's performance today?
For me, I think he did well. He's a very smart coach, very experienced coach. When I finished the judge, I think he learned the same thing. He learned differently from the judge, despite that he wasn't on the bench during AFCON. He was technical director, but still he understands how the team actually plays and knew exactly what to do to actually improve this team. I'm really impressed with actually what he did. But even get a draw, if you ask him today, you'll be surprised with the lineup that Eguavon was brought out today. But I just I'm waiting for him to play the second game. But about today's game, I think he did extremely well. You cannot fault anything that actually did today. And people like actually brought on was actually very good. He took Vivati at the right time. He took him off at the right time. He realized that he needed more energy in the midfield. He brought in Lebashiru. He's just trying to tick all the boxes too. And I think actually did well today. A slightly more attacking formation than the one we saw during AFCON. Though at home against Benin Republic, you don't expect to sit back too. So I think that he actually did well. But the big test is in Kigali in 3 days' time when we play against Rwanda.
Okay, and then finally, who was your player of the match today?
For me, that one does not need any argument. In fact, even if you bring INEC, to come and this, I think it's going to be Lukman. You can't go take it to appeal court or you want to go to tribunal. It's go by the man Lukman. Fantastic performance from him today. He ran the show, to take the pace of the game. He's a well-matured player, and he's a guy that we should be thanking God that we have him in our national team. I think he's the best player on the pitch today. He's head and shoulders above anybody on that pitch today.
All right, Ademola Lukman. Let me just go on a quick intermission. I'll restart the live. We'll come back for part 2. I'll bring more people on to share your thoughts.
Yes.
Please just make sure you have your camera on. Make sure we can see your face. Make sure you are well dressed. Don't come here with your bare chest. Nobody wants to see that. And please don't show us your television. Just show us your face. I'll bring you guys on in a second. Just 1 minute, I will be back on.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. We are back. Part 2 of the post-match live. Nigeria 3, Benin Republic 0. Goes by Ademola Lukman, a brace by Lukman, and of course a goal by Victor James Osimhen. A positive result for the Super Eagles of Nigeria heading into the second game of our AFCON 2025 qualifier against Rwanda, coming up in 3 days time, I believe. Yes, 3 days time. If you want to join, please send a request. I'll bring you on to share your thoughts. Please just make sure you have your camera on. Make sure we can see your face. You're well dressed, and of course, you'll get your opportunity to let us know. All of you for joining me once again. Let's get going. Hello, Fumble.
Thank you, Ayoti, for bringing me up. It's at least let there be a joy. Yes, at least it has been a long time. Nigeria have won like 3-0. But looking at the performance of the players, today I was asking myself, why didn't...
Sorry, hold on. Sending DM does not help bring you up on the live. You have to send a request from your phone, and then I'll bring you on. If you are sending DM while I'm on live, I cannot read your DM and be on the live at the same time. Okay, go on, I'm sorry.
Yes, today's game, I was asking myself a question. Why didn't Pacero play Bruno Nyemachi at the AFCON? These are one of the weaknesses on Pacero. Despite I support him, but I'm asking this question because of the way he played today. And I begin to ask a question. So it doesn't matter whether you are playing in a top club, so far as you come to make, to prove yourself that, yes, hi, who is this man?
One day, look out, man.
So it doesn't matter whether you're playing in a top match, so far as that you look at yourself as a national team material. And I'm so happy of the improvement I've seen on Bruno Nyemachi. And today, again, yes. And another person that also I was surprised is Semi Ajayi. Giving Osimhen that goal.
Please mute yourself.
It was great.
Yeah, brother. Please mute yourself, Andy, mute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and another thing is this. I think today, I will say that Coach Austin Iguavan have learned his lessons. We know Coach Austin Iguavan 4-3-3, 4-4-2. Today, 3-4-3. Attacking on that matter, not even defending. So I was so happy. I said, wow. And we have people that we bring in, they will just do the work immediately. Our bench is very good. So if we have these kind of players, I think that the rest of the matches, both World Cup and AFCON, we will be there.
All right. However, just hold on for now. Let me go to local man, Kelechi. Welcome to the program. We can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Your Excellency, I greet you, sir. On your leadership, Your Excellency.
I greet you. I greet you.
My chairman, them, I greet you now.
Yeah. I hear you, my...
Yeah. So, Kelechi, I mean, it's been a long time since Nigerian fans have been this excited about a game. Maybe the last time that we had this kind of excitement was AFCON, when we were on our road to that final. But Eguavon came in today under a lot of criticism. People felt like he shouldn't have been selected for the job, but a very good performance, 3-0, good setup. What did you think of today's game?
I thought it was an excellent game. Eguavon has always been an exciting coach. He has always played well. Just that sometimes, it's hard luck. That Nations Cup that we went out against Tunisia was a record to Iwobi, 10 men. The one against Ghana, it was just hard luck. We had the chances. So, you know, maybe it might be third time lucky for him. I don't know, but I'm not saying give him the permanent role yet. Let's see more. But I mean, he played well. His substitutions were on point.
Mm.
Everything just worked out for him today, and I'm just so happy for him. And when he wasn't the manager before now, he used to actually tour Europe to watch the players. I met him once in Arsenal. He was taking his notes and doing all that stuff. I said, "Oh, now so now they do." I don't know, say he's serious like that, but he's somebody that is a student of the game, and I'm really, really happy for him.
Let me ask you about your boy, Iwobinho. Not his best game today, but we know, like we see how he's been performing for his club so far. We know he's a top player. But again, when it comes to play for the Super Eagles, we play him out of position. We drag him into that midfield. And, he's not able to perform at the standard that people are looking for. What did you think about Iwobi's game today?
I think he performs well for Nigeria, contrary to your opinion or anybody's opinion. We look at the game against South Africa in the World Cup qualifier. Who got the assist? It was him. It was him pulling the string. In fact, he ran his legs out.
Mm.
He ran his legs out in that game. When he got taken off against Benin Republic in Cote d'Ivoire, everybody was shocked because that's the only creative outlet. Dele Bashir was not there, no other person. So when they took him off, then took off Chukwueze, that was when people were like, "No, Finidi is done. Like, who is going to create? You just want to be lopping balls from the guy he invited from Turkey, and then the home base right back as well. It just didn't make sense. And even if you want to, you can't just hook off. For me, you can't just, if you have one creative outlet, you can't just hook him off or
Yeah.
two. You can't just hook them off. This game as well, I thought he was okay. The chance Lukman missed in the first half, in the 14th minute, the pre-assist came from him. He was one that opened it up. So he has his moments. I I think he can play anywhere across the midfield. He can play on the flanks. We have different styles that we prefer the Lukmans and the Moses Simons on the flank. He plays on the flank in his club side. Anywhere he's needed to be played, he will play. In the AFCON, he played essentially as a defensive midfielder. He was running the show and people were abusing him, but people that don't understand the game. So, it is what it is. For me, he shows up for the national team. He plays well, so I'm good with him.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Iwobi doesn't play well. I was more so talking about today. I just felt like today wasn't necessarily his best game.
Moment.
But I felt like it was because of where they played him in that midfield too with Ndidi. When he plays a more advanced role, no doubt Iwobi's quality shows. But
Yeah,
when
that's
he's a
what he.
bit but when he's
Yeah,
a bit deeper,
deep
it's
line.
not
Yeah,
even as if he plays bad when he's deeper, but he's less flashy. He's not playing that final ball. So people tend to complain that what's he doing? Because like you said, the pre-assist matters, the person that
of
plays
course,
that pass before the final ball.
of
But a
course.
lot of people don't. When people watch goals, they see the assist, they see the finish. They don't necessarily see what happened
What
before
happened
then.
at the background? Yes.
So he doesn't
And
get
the
as
position
much.
he played today, is not alien to play in that position. In
Uh,
Everton, he played there when they were
yes.
chasing the relegation. And he wanted to survive relegation, and he
Yeah.
excelled there. So he's not actually really alien to it, but it's not his best position, and he needs more protection to excel. Just like how my people are complaining about Casemiro. Casemiro is 31. He needs more protection. He will make that mistake that will, like against Liverpool. So you understand. So I don't think he had a bad game today, but Dele Bashiru came on in place of him and played really well as well. And that's what we want. We want competition for places. You understand? Not one man running the show. No, let other people come in and, even in the striking position, we had like how many strikers? 5 strikers today, like on the bench. So I'm just happy.
And Kelechi, before I just move on to our other guest, let me ask you, Ademola Lukman. I mean, this guy is a
Now,
fantastic
Demola
player.
Lukman Ballon d'Or, please. He has an extra name, please.
Ademola Lukman Ballon d'Or. But how would you sum his performance today? 2 goals, 5 chances created, all round fantastic display. But what words can you use to describe him?
Fantastic, fantastic. First of all, let me big up Guavon for not taking him off. He was on a yellow card. The temptation could have been there. I mean, I have a lot of forward talents on the bench. I can take him off. He's on a yellow card, but he did it. to big him up. And Lukman, I mean, was very, very fantastic. He has his trademark move and finish. If you're unlucky, he will score you. So good. The surprising goal was a header. I didn't know he could leap that
Because
high.
he's
so,
one of the shortest players on the field.
Yeah.
so that's the surprising
Um,
part. So what I can say is that congratulations, top performance, Ballon d'Or, top whatever, I don't know, sure, but half award. We
Mm.
died there. Let me player of the year. So I'm really happy for him. Turns up, very quiet. If you see him in camp, he doesn't really speak, he just wants to get on with his business and do his stuff. So I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy for him.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Let me just quickly move on to ND Yama. You've been patient. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I just want to say, me, I'm the positive guy. Well, I know they do all those tactics things. I mean, the boys played well today. Big ups to Lukman. He has always been that guy that if he did the match, something will show up. You understand? And
Mm,
I mean, I'm happy for Osimhen. All the in the situation that has been around him, for him to be able to come up today and he gave us a goal. We could have been more goals, but I mean, thank God. I hope Chelsea people they see what they miss. You understand? And who else? I want to also talk about Dele Bashiru. I mean, that guy is a very solid player, even though he didn't get much of the ball today. But you can see his runs. I mean, you can see immediately he came on, the game switched.
mm,
hmm.
Immediately the guy came up, the game switched because he was running. Even though he didn't really perform like the other day, but you could see that this guy is very, very good.
mm.
I mean, that's all I want to say. Thank you so much for putting me on.
All right, thank you
Thank you.
very much. And before you go, who was your player of the match?
I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I'm going to say Ademola Lukman.
Mm. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
bias if you choose Lukman. I mean, it was fantastic today. Uh, all right, thank you very much, Andy.
I
Thank
need to
Please,
take you on
you so much.
your what you said about Osimhen. I'm trying
sorry,
to
sorry,
get your point.
Kelechi, before you go, Andy, please just remove yourself from your end so that I can bring somebody else on. Rec. All
Okay.
right, Doctor Kelechi, go on.
Yeah, I'm trying to get your point on the Osimhen
Mm,
constructive criticism.
mm,
Because I feel that it lacks a bit of context. Someone is
mm,
much rusty. He has not played any official game this season. This is his first official game, so he will. To be honest, I was surprised he scored that goal
mm,
with his match rustiness. So baller and a baller. But yes, I understand that they were easier chances in a way. So he
Yes.
scored the harder one.
And
Maybe like
yes.
Nunes of
Oh,
Liverpool. Nunes will score the hardest goal in the world. But you see the easy one now, if you could miss
mm.
that. So, but he's much rusty. That's the context I was craving for. I don't know if you agree
Mm.
with me.
No, I agree with you. He's definitely rusty. I mean, this is his first game this season, whereas every or maybe most other players have been playing games this season. So I understand your context. Maybe I should have given it. But for me, I guess the way I kind of just look at it was I was just talking about what everybody did. It wasn't necessarily a criticism of him. I wasn't trying to criticize him. I was just, should I say, stating the fact that he had those opportunities that he didn't score, and I felt like he should have scored.
this could
And
have
the reason
scored, yeah.
and the reason why I say it is just the reason why I said it rather was is just because I know Nigerian fans. If that was Boniface, if that was Awoni, if that was anybody else, people would not care rusty or no rusty. They could just fire them. They could just fire them. So I was just more so trying to just say that, see, at the end of the day, everybody is human. Even Osimhen can miss those chances. So when other players miss those kinds of chances, let it not turn to insult, let it not turn to anything else. Because people were already criticizing, if you look at my comments on Instagram after the game, people are already criticizing Boniface, oh, he did not score, he did not do this, he did not do that. So I was just more so saying what happened to kind of just say that at the end of the day, anybody can miss opportunities. But of course, Osimhen, for his first game this season, whether for club or for country, I thought he did very well. He brought that life into the game, and like was it? I think Smith Layi said it earlier. It was something that just seemed like it was written in the stars. Once I saw him coming on, I knew Osimhen will mark attendance. I knew he would do something. He cannot just Osimhen will not just come and the game will just go and he will just be a passenger. I kind of expected him to be on the bench because, like we said, he's match rusty and he hasn't played. But once he came on, we could see that fire. We could see the desire in him. We could see the passion, the efforts, making those runs. And of course, on another day, it would have been a hat-trick for Victor Osimhen. Nobody can doubt Osimhen's impact. He's by far the most prolific scorer that we have in the Super Eagles. And then now, going into Rwanda's game, if Osimhen gets the starts, then with Ademola Lukman playing alongside him, the firepower is going to be exciting to watch. I'm happy that we have two players right now that are essentially getting to the peak of their powers and they are both firing. It's
For
exciting times. As long as the coach can keep setting them up right, I think it is exciting times for our attack. And then whoever is playing on the right, whether it's Chukwueze, whether it's Simon, whoever is playing on that right, that person now also has a challenge to step up to the level that the other two attacking players are performing at. But yes, thank you for that context, of course, Dr. Kechi. Mr. Adedotu, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Kelechi, how you doing?
I'm all
I'm wearing.
I hear you,
I
man.
just hate. I hate to see that jersey you are wearing. I hate to see it. So
I was going
double
to wear
Friday for
Nigeria football, though. I was going to wear Nigeria football, the one that you gave me, Ayo.
Mm.
But I think I'm in Rwanda
Oh,
tomorrow, so I'll probably
okay.
wear it there. Yeah,
Okay.
so because I don't have any Nigeria outfit at the moment. Yeah.
Mm. All right.
double Friday for to Eguavon and his backroom staff and double Friday to the players. See everything today 3-0. You don't want to look at the negative side of the ball. So that means that everything is positive. Even though our players they missed some chances, for the fact that we won 3-0, that every move was positive. Close to the boys. But I want them to keep up the momentum. They should not go up and come down. They shouldn't do that. I think in a long time we've been doing that. In a long time we've been fluctuating. We should maintain that big step that okay, we are Super Eagles of Nigeria. We should create fear in the heart of our opponents. Be it Morocco, be it anybody. Let us create that fear in them. I think kudos to Igafon. He set up the team well. Bruno Yemachi played very well. I expected what I got from Ekong, Shemia Jagi, Olayino and Basi. I expected that. What they give us, that we're expecting. But like the first caller said, I will also pick Bruno. I will also pick Bruno Yemachi because the guy surprised me today. He just surprised me. And I just want to say this to that good job, Victor Osimhen. When he came in, I was hoping that he would score so that will lift up his spirit. He has been through a halo experience the last 1 month. And the guy coming in to score, even when he scored, you could see that everybody, even the bench, the coaches, they all went to jubilate with him. Meaning everybody wanted him to score. I'm happy for him. Ademola Lukman, please, Nigerian journalists that be clamoring for Brahim Diaz, that has not been instrumental to the success of Real Madrid. Please, if a player doesn't give him chance to grant interview, don't take that against him. Still wish him well. This guy has just confirmed that he deserves to be crowned African Player of the Year. In a long time, let us go back to from a Nigerian to a Nigerian. That should be it. But kudos to the guys. I hope and I pray and I wish they will keep on the same spirit when we go to Rwanda. Because that Amahoro Stadium, Tikali has said that will be the total ground that any team is ready to finish any team in Amahoro Stadium. Coach Eguavon, please disappoint me. I want him to disappoint me. So kudos to the guys once again. But Kelechi, again, I am a number one hater of Arsenal. I am number one hater of Arsenal. I hate that team. Arsenal and Chelsea. Inter Milan, I hate the three of them, please. I hate that team.
All
I see
right.
that jersey.
So,
Thank you,
thank
LC.
you, Mr. Adedotu. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Sorry, just before I go on, I want to say, I saw a comment from somebody, Bimbo Adewi. Kelechi, she's your follower, so I have to respond to her with respect. But I wanted to say, guys, let's know, like there's this thing that Nigerians tend to do, whereby if you say something about a player that is not praising the player, people start to say, "Oh, you hate the person, you hate the person." And no, it's not hate. Again, I'll say this. I don't want to keep on harping about this because it's a moot point in the whole conversation. I am not criticizing Victor Osimhen. I was not criticizing Victor Osimhen. You cannot tell the story of the match without talking about those moments
Those
because
moments.
they happened. When anybody does highlights video, they are going to include those moments because they were key moments in the game. So pointing out that he missed two opportunities in the game, it does not mean I hate him, does not mean I'm saying he's a bad player or he played badly. It is just a fact of what happened in the game. So nobody hates Osimhen. We love Osimhen. We've been praising Osimhen since he was in Shalewa, before you even probably knew who he was. Since on 17, before he even went to Europe. So nobody hates Osimhen. We all love him. We understand. I know that Nigerians love to cuddle him and protect him because Naim be our star boy. But let's try not to say those things of, oh, he hates because you're not praising somebody. But yeah, Mr. Dotun, please just remove yourself from your end so that I can bring
Okay, thank you.
somebody else
Make a
on.
carry on. I did watch Arsenal
All right.
women game.
That's all right. No problem.
So
Thank you,
Yes,
Dr.
nice
Kelechi.
one.
Always,
Yeah,
always
man.
nice to hear from
We're
you.
yeah.
together.
So thank you.
No wahala.
Yes, my brother.
All right. Okay, let me see. We have some more requests. I'll give you guys an opportunity to share your thoughts. I don't know who sent request first. Unfortunately, so it's going to be a bit random. But yeah, I'll just bring some more people on and then we'll go for another maybe 30 minutes and then we'll wrap up. Because I want to get ready to also watch the Falconets
Far connect.
who are
Yes.
playing in just under an hour. But yes. I'm going to be sending requests to people that have sent. Again, forgive me if you've been waiting. I don't necessarily know the order that the request came in, which is something. If there's anybody that works from Instagram that is watching this live, that's something that I feel like they should fix. Let
They'll
the request,
just put it 1, 2, 3. Yeah, put
exactly in
it
the order
here.
of how the people came. Gig TV. Forgive me for not responding to your mail. I've been busy, of course, with the match, with the live. But Gig TV supported Eagle Strikers channel today, so shout out to you. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support.
Okay, good day.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, my brother.
Greetings.
Yes, we can hear
Greetings.
you. Go on.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Nigeria really, I'm calling out right from Uyo,
Okay. Did you go
precisely.
to the stadium?
I did not realize, but the truth is that I actually work for, I was in the hotel, like I was working, so I couldn't, but I watched it over here. I was in the
Okay.
office, in my office. So the match was cool, actually. So my own take, because I won't really stay long online. My own take on the match was I really loved. I've always been a fan of Eguavon, but the only issue I've always had with him is that when it comes to tactical changes, you always had issues with that. But tactically,
I,
defensively, he was good.
I,
But tactical changes
I
when you need,
Yes, we
yeah,
can
can you hear
hear
me?
you. Keep going.
I'll come back here.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So tactical changes, we had issues with him because there are most times you need to bring specific players, make a little one or two changes. Like that defense, what even made me, for the matches, what really turned me on, like made me go crazy was removing those back lines, bring the likes of this guy that plays
Mm.
Nda, Nda, the
Orlando
guy that plays for
Pirates.
in South Africa, and bring the likes of that was a wow. Like giving Odika a chance. You see how Odika played. That means we have two fours. If Inidi does not play, we have the likes of Odika to cover up for him. So I just love the game. I just love the game. And someone like Boniface, I think that he's much rusty in terms of African football because he's always had bad luck. The last under 17 he had injuries. This time coming he had injuries. So I believe Nigeria is prepared for the future. I just hope Eguavon keeps on improving. The beautiful thing about Eguavon was that when they sacked him, he went to Egypt to learn more. You see him like he came to Arsenal Stadium, learn more. So I feel if he's given a chance, he's going to perform
All
well.
right,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much for sharing your thoughts. Next time, tell your Oga that you need to take the day off so that you can go to the stadium and watch Super Eagles. But thank you very
You,
much.
do you know my boss? You know my
Who, I
boss.
don't know who's your boss.
Eguavon.
Uh,
You know Vincent
oh,
Yama.
okay. You work in his hotel. Uh,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sure you
yes, yes.
understand now.
Have to support them.
All right. All right.
No,
Thank you
very
very
true.
much.
No
Thank you.
problem.
All right.
Thank
Please
you.
just remove yourself
Okay,
from your
God bless.
end. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Dino, so welcome.
My brother, thank you for having me here. And I predicted 4-1. It came down to 3-0.
Mm,
Overall, it was a decent game. Let's not get too way ahead of ourselves.
mm,
With this game, in every game, whether you win or lose, there's something you need to at least take from it. The tangibles. For me, I think the introduction of Olis was very crucial the time he came in because our central defense was wobbly and the Benin guys knew that they were pressuring to penetrate from the
mm,
middle. In terms of Onyemechin, he improved, but there's one tricky thing about this game is Basi really fitted as a central defender? That was the biggest question that I had for myself or anybody that didn't really notice what was going on. Basi tends to struggle whenever there is a through ball through the air. Did you notice Ndidi was scratching his head in frustration when Basi almost handled the ball inside the box?
mm,
Because he was not composed at all. Basi might be best fitted as a left wing back for Nigeria than a central defender.
mm,
So that was one thing I noticed. Chukwueze improved in his game, okay? But there was so much attention towards him. Criticisms I've seen hard towards Boniface. I don't think it is fair.
mm,
The style of play at Bayern Leverkusen is not the style of play in Nigerian football. What I believe that will very much unlock Boniface is if that ball goes into the net. Boniface is struggling psychologically with being able to put that ball in the net. When he has that breakthrough, a lot of things will change. Have you noticed his touches with the ball? His touches is telling every one of us, if we can really see it, Boniface is not a number 9. Boniface is that shoulder striker. Boniface can coexist with Osimhen.
mm,
Osimhen needs a player like Boniface because he can bring down the ball, hold it, and be able to pass the ball. His patience is very much needed with a player like Osimhen. It's a it's a match that we will see down the line. Lukman has been exceptional. I wholeheartedly think our next game with the Benin team, it is best we play Lukman and Moses from the wings because that game, the game today showed that their weakness is in their fullbacks. When those two guys came in, their defense started being shaky. But in the first half of the game, they were in control. And our strikers did not really have any chance to sight at goal until Lukman scored. The game was almost about to end the first half 0-0. Um, Olisenda would be huge for Nigeria. I am very impressed with Ekong. His composure was fantastic. Having Olisenda playing next to him there might end up being our best defensive pairing. Giving Eguavon the job, I mean, who had agreement with Ade and some other people. I think we need a foreign coach, 100%. The reason I'm saying that is that foreign coaches brings a balance to our national team. No conflict of interest. Selection based on form. We're here talking about Bruno Labbadia, that he turned that Super Eagles job because of tax. I don't believe that is the case. The man showed me that he had integrity. If they can go back and convince him to come back, I will be the number one cheerleader for him. He came out in the media and made it very clear that a lot of players in this team is not supposed to be in the team. It wasn't his team. It wasn't his selection. For a coach to be successful, you have to have a voice as to who you're picking for your team. NFF should not be picking teams for the national team, and not to knock on the two home-based coaches. I was 100% impressed with them more than Iguavon in this game. They engaged the players that was in the field. They engaged the players that was on the bench. Any foreign coach coming into this our national team, Nigeria, should work with these two guys. They have the only reason I'm not giving the job to these two guys directly is that it will be too much pressure on them to include home base, to include at all costs. You know it, Tayo. Any coach coming into this national team should be given a free hand to select the best, but I don't think they will do that for these home base coaches. Do I think Nigeria has a great chance of making it to the World Cup? Yes.
No, World
But
Cup. Let's not talk about World
yeah,
Cup right now. AFCON is the main focus right now. You know,
okay.
the game today, and then we can look ahead to the game that's coming up. You know, in 3 days' time against Rwanda.
It's going to be difficult. The game against Rwanda in Kigali would test this team big time. And one gaping weakness I've been talking about for 2.5 years for almost 4 years, I would say. Iwobi is not a defensive player. And that has been a significant weakness. Whenever Iwobi is covering, covering an opposition in attacking mode, if Iwobi is in front there, I'm not comfortable. Ndidi was doing the job of two players today. And that is why he ran out of gas. That is why he was gesturing to be substituted. Iwobi on this current Super Eagles team should not be a starter. I would rather start Dele Bashiru. And we've played for 10 plus years a pedestrian style of football. Do you know teams that are successful with that style of football, are you? It's when you have a team that are very much cerebral players. And that is the likes of our 1994 World Cup team. One pass can change the whole thing. But if you don't have a bunch of creators in a team, you need to push the tempo of the game, the pace of the game. We scored 3 goals today. Can you remember how those 3 goals came about?
Yeah.
They pushed up the tempo. three of them came off of decisive, fast moving football. When a team keeps playing pedestrian football, walking, passing, and all that, your opposition, one, you should respect them enough to know that if you're giving them that too much opportunity, they will recover, recompose, and very much cover any loopholes they have in their own half against you. And when you're playing a pedestrian football, any opposition can be able to predict you easily. This Super Eagle team will improve significantly if we have players that are, you don't need to romance the football. Get it, pass it, move it. Move it. Play more of a business like football. Players that are playing pedestrian football are indecisive of what their next action should be on the ball.
Let me say something. You know what you said about Iwobi. You know, I was saying it earlier today. I didn't think Iwobi had his best match. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. You know, for me in this kind of system, again, it's hard for me to bounce this player because he actually played well today. But historically, or let me not say historically, if you look at the last 10 games, this is probably his best game. I'm talking about Samuel Chukwueze. What
True.
I might rather do is I might rather play Iwobi as the right winger and then move Dele Bashiru from the bench and put Dele Bashiru to play in the midfield with Wilfred Ndidi. We know that Dele
Okay.
Bashiru can run forward, can come back. He has that energy, and he's creative
True.
enough to create something in the attack. Ndidi
True.
can be the DM, and we've seen it in Ndidi since he started playing for Leicester under Maresca last season. Even Ndidi now can offer a little bit of something in the attack as well when he gets into those positions. And if we play, it will be from the wing. I think
What do
Iwobi
you
will have
think
more opportunity
about
to
that?
shine.
What do you think about that? It will be from the wing. You should be also mindful. If you put Iwobi from the wing, the Rwandans will most likely field a left back that is very offensive minded because Iwobi's defensive loopholes. I think Iwobi is still is a super ego player. Is a national team worthy player, but Iwobi's strength, from what I've seen, tends to come when he comes in as a substitute. Then the energy level of the opposition is not as that high. He can be able to run and match up with their speed. Iwobi is not a speed type of player. And if you put Iwobi from the wing, my biggest concern is what happens to our fullback position.
I think I think
That is
I think Iwobi has enough energy to help out in defense. We see the shifts that he puts in at club level. I think Iwobi, honestly, I think
exactly. I'm not
Iwobi can do
seeing
that.
that in the national
Well,
team. What I see,
the role, because the role is different. You know, it is much different when you have to have your head on a swivel, looking right, left, running forward, coming back in that center midfield position. It is not naturally what he likes to do.
you're
But playing on the wing,
right.
I think it will be different. But yeah, let's just put a pin on that for now.
Okay.
I can't bring anybody else on, so let me just go off and I'll come back one more time for the final 10 minutes. I'll bring as many people on. Everybody will have like 2 minutes, and then we
Okay.
can wrap it up very quickly. Guys, bear with me. I'll be back on in just a minute.
All right.
Hello, hello. Hello, guys. Welcome to part 3 of this post-match show. Of course, we're talking about the game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. We have 10 minutes to go on this program. A 3-0 victory for the Super Eagles. Ademola Lukman with a brace, and then Victor Osimhen with a goal. If you want to join, please send your request right now. Vision City Hills. I want to bring you on, but I'm scared because when I brought you on last time, that's how the whole thing hooked. So I'm actually scared to bring you on Vision City because last time when I brought you on, the whole live hook gets frozen again. I'm not going to come back. So Vision City. I'm really, really scared to bring you on. So maybe I'll bring you on as the final guest. Maybe that's what I'll do. I can bring you on as the final guest. Yes, hello.
Hey, Ayo, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yes. Your thoughts
Um,
on the game?
so I saw only the first half. I got a little bit disappointed
Mm,
because your stream was buffering.
mm,
Um, and when it was buffering, I just decided to leave. But I saw at least almost the half of the game, the 45 minutes of the game.
mm,
My only thought is this. Again, two things I want to say. Number one, let's not get carried away. It's a great win, but it's like a game of chess.
mm,
To me, we are playing a game of chess right now, and Benetrail might just do this on purpose, just to give us this win. And when it matters most, we might find ourselves in trouble. So again, it's good to celebrate a win, but I don't want to get carried away. I want us to use this medium to focus primarily on having a sound coach. Bring somebody that you know is capable. You know, the last guy that you guys mentioned about, hopefully is sound enough. But let's focus on doing the things right, because we just, our games have gotten to the point where if you're watching the Nigerian game right now, you're no longer there's no. I mean, I'm just emotionless in the game. Okay, let me just see how these guys perform. We've got to that level. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The Super Eagles are supposed to put their feet down. Let me give an example of what you just said now, Ayo. You spoke about switching the game, switching Iwobi on the right wings, switching somebody in the middle. It only comes from a coach who is savvy to think carefully and say, how do I use the strength of everybody in this game to the best of their capabilities? And that comes from thinking and planning. So again, my 2 points are simple. One, don't get carried away. We're playing like a game of chess. Number two, get somebody who is sound, get a sound coach. Let's prepare. Let's have a forecast into the future, which is the World Cup. All this thing we're doing right now, let's just put our minds in it. But that's all I have to say, Ayo. But thanks for your platform. I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you're doing. Hopefully, I'll come see you sometime.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Nice to hear from you. Thank you.
Same here, man. Same
All
here. Yeah,
right.
bye.
Cross Apparel. You can go on.
Yeah, good day, boss. It was actually a good game, and I love the way we played, most especially when Osimhen came on. It was great. The flow was there. Immediately came on, and we could actually see how do I put it, the style of play changed immediately, and altogether it was a great game, and we're actually happy. Hope to see this kind of performance in the next game, and God willing, we see this kind of performance, because when you trust them the most, that's when you just feel like this guy is won't fuck up again, and stuff like that. But hopefully we see a great game the next match. Thank you very much for the opportunity. All right.
Yes. If you want to share your thoughts, please, send a request now. We have just under 5 minutes to go. Vision City, I will bring you on. Please just be patient. You crashed the stream the last time, so I want to bring you on as the last person. But yes, anybody else that wants to share their thoughts, please send a request now, and then I'll bring Vision City on to wrap up for the night. And then we can all go and watch the Falconets play against Venezuela. All right. Layi,
Yes.
we're about to wrap up, so
Yeah.
just give us your final submission.
So like a lot of people actually I've been listening. I was trying to come on, but I think Instagram needs help. Maybe they will hire you to try and sort some of their problems they actually would have. I think that it's not Uru yet. We should, I know that we're going to preview the game. between Nigeria and Rwanda. So I think that that is when we know if they can actually replicate the same performance on their way ground in Kigali.
All right. Vision City, thank you for joining.
Yeah, good evening, Mr.
Yes,
Ayo.
good evening.
Yeah, I saw the game, and let's start with today's game. I think it is, you see, the problem the Super Eagles has always had, and I keep saying it, is issue of coaching.
Hmm.
I don't know why NFF will just go abroad and just go and bring half-baked coach to come and coach. We have good players in this country, especially this particular set of Super Eagles. They are far better than some of the past Super Eagles that has gone to the World Cup individually. But in the city, but they've not been lucky with coaching. Even Ose Pasero is not somebody that should coach Super Eagles. I believe he's not tactical enough. And one thing Eguavon did today that I like is he actually went back to what we were actually building after Nations Cup. And, you know, it progressed from there. Finidi George messed it up because I saw that game. I saw that previous Benin game. He messed it. He messed that game up. Are you getting it? Even we had a lot of injuries as at that time, and you know he could not just package the old team very very well. He was just trying. He was thinking maybe it's tactically sound or something. You don't do that. So
1 minute to
today
1
we
minute,
played
please
very very
wrap up.
well. Yeah, we played very, very well. You know, the substitution of Osimhen killed the game. Lukman is my, how can I put it, is my incoming African Footballer of the Year, definitely. And he actually showed that. That was a very, very beautiful goal. He took his chances. He was calm on the ball. So, and I think going back, when we get to Kigali, we would have trained properly and we'll actually win that game in Kigali because I know those boys really want to make a statement. And one thing I'm appealing to NFF, whenever they want to get a new coach, they should get somebody who can actually manage these boys. Don't just go to Europe and just go and bring one half-baked person to come and manage Super Eagles. They should do that. And they should leave those two assistants, what's the name? Yeah, the Remo head coach and the Rangers international head coach. They should leave them so that they can work hand in hand and let them understudy. Those guys are good. I think that's just all I want to
All
say.
right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining and sharing your thoughts. Nice to hear from you. And there we have it, guys. That wraps up today's post-match live. 3-0 victory for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Lukman with the first, Osimhen with the second, and then Lukman again for the third and final goal. A nice header from the shortest player, well, probably one of the shortest, top 3 shortest players on the field. Comfortable victory for the Super Eagles. We could have scored 4 or 5 or 6 even in the game if we are taking some other chances. And then right now we have to look forward to the next game in the AFCON 2025 qualifying campaign coming up against Rwanda on the 10th of September, the 10th. That is on Tuesday. So yes, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are going to do a preview of the next game against Rwanda, probably on Monday. So subscribe so that you don't miss that. And then of course, after the game on Tuesday, we'll be back again live to discuss the game and to talk about our AFCON qualifying campaign. Hopefully we can make it 6 points out of 6. We can make it 2 wins out of 2. And the Super Eagles can keep on soaring high. Once again, I give credit to Coach Eguavon for getting the setup right, for getting his substitutions right, for getting his selections right. Fantastic display. I have to give kudos to Nwabali, solid in goal. The defense was good. Indeed, he did well. Bruno AMH, some people said they were surprised by Bruno. I wasn't surprised by Bruno. I've been watching and following this boy for quite some time now. I know what he can offer, whether playing as a left back, left wing back, even playing as a center back is also quite decent. So Bruno Yemachi did not surprise me too much, but he has barely gotten a chance in the Super Eagles, and I'm happy that today he was able to show himself to be a quality player. Samuel Chukwueze, probably his best game for the Super Eagles in like the last 1 or 2 years. He was quite good today. Ademola Lukman, star boy, probably the next African player of the year. I hope he can get into like the top 10 of the Ballon d'Or as well. Fantastic display from Ademola Lukman. And then, of course, big fish, Ejanla, star boy. our golden child of Nigerian football, Victor Osimhen, off the bench, a goal, and could have even had more than just that. But yes, it's been a pleasure talking football with you. As always, Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian football. My name is Ayoti. Have a wonderful night, guys. And please cheer on the Falconets against Venezuela tonight. Thank you very much. Bye bye.